What is up, awesome people of the internet? The dynamic duo is at it again. That is Haley Van Lith and Sedona Prince. They have won another game, and this one was a crazy upset. TCU, the number 17 team in the country, not anymore come Monday, but currently the number 17 team in the country has defeated the number 3 team, Notre Dame. The final score of that game was 76-68. Now, guys, this was a fantastic game. Now, here's the thing. Yes, these games that are taking place in far out places and whatnot, like around Thanksgiving, yes, no one really shows up for these games. The attendance numbers are abysmal. But the good thing about these games is that there is a little bit of a chance for some crazy upsets. On the men's side, we saw UConn just get torched like really badly in one of their Thanksgiving tournaments. And now we have seen Notre Dame lose to TCU. Now, guys, this was a tale of two halves. In the first half, Notre Dame was cooking. They were cooking. No problems. They were playing some pretty good team ball and just making stuff happen. TCU, on the other hand, couldn't really hit much, struggled from the field a little bit. And then we get into the second half. And boy, oh boy, I love watching TCU play because Mark Campbell, who used to be the head coach at Oregon, he is a master at adjustments, little adjustments. And what they did in the second half for TCU was absolutely huge. First of all, I got to talk about Haley Van Lith because, guys, as you all know, Haley Van Lith was awesome at Louisville. She went to LSU, not so awesome. Now she's at TCU, awesome. Guys, Mark Campbell really kind of like Jeff Walls in the way that he is coaching Haley Van Lith. She is thriving. In the second half, I want to call this out in the second half because Haley Van Lith ended up scoring 21 points in this game, including 7 assists and just 1 turnover. 8 of 15 from the field. Now, the second half is where she got basically all the points. I can't even remember how many points she had in the first half. It was barely any, just a couple points in the first half, and she was missing a lot of shots. The second half, what did she do? Put her head down, get to the rim. Almost all of her points in this game came directly at the rim. And this is what Haley Van Lith is good at. And sometimes she was getting inside into the paint, and then she kicked it out and got an assist in there because she was able to get it to the open man for a good shot. Haley Van Lith is a player who has some really good skills. But there were times last year I felt like it was like she was forcing stuff to happen. And for TCU, maybe it's because she had a year of like really trying to pass the ball. She's a way better passer, I feel. She's a way better passer, doing a better job of taking care of the basketball, not doing anything silly. Again, guys, 7 assists yesterday for Haley Van Lith, 1 turnover. Like, let's go, Haley. Let's go. Like that's what I'm talking about. But she put her head down. She got to the rim. She realized her 3-point shots weren't working. You know, sometimes the mid-range and 3-point game is not gonna work for you. Sometimes you got to put your head down and go. And that is exactly what she did. And her pick and roll mate, who I love when they do pick and rolls. Haley Van Lith and Sedona Prince, they do some really good pick and roll sets. Sedona Prince had a really good game as well. 20 rebounds, guys. 20 rebounds, 20 points. Like, she putting up some Anissa Morrow numbers for Sedona Prince. It was really awesome to see. She was, of course, dominant in the post. Now, here's the thing, though. Because Sedona Prince is so much bigger, she could just ball. She's 6'7". And, Kate Koval is tall as well. She's 6'5", but at the same time, she just doesn't have as much experience battling against a pretty dominant big like a Sedona Prince. And so TCU cooked in the second half, especially in that fourth quarter where they just went off like a buzzsaw. It was 3-point shots. It was get into the paint. And y'all, I cannot finish up talking about TCU without mentioning the sniper herself, Madison Connor, who went big. She had a big game yesterday. Finished with 18 points in this game. 3 of 9 from the 3-point land. She got to the free throw line a couple times, but really those 3-point shots were huge and clutch. Like Madison Connor, like what a game. 18 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. She did get 7 turnovers, which is kind of crazy. But her offensive production was absolutely huge in this game. And the reason why Notre Dame lost, they had it in the first half. Like this game, not even just the first half, they had it in the third quarter. This game was easily Notre Dame's. And then what did they do? Get away from what they do best. Played a little bit more ISO. Played a little bit more like, okay, I got the ball and I'm a hit this shot because I know I can hit it and blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Like it felt like a little bit more like I and less like we or team in that second half for Notre Dame. And that's why they lost. Yes, Hannah gets her points in, right? But she doesn't do it efficiently. She had 27 points. Yes, great. Bravo. But 9 of 22 from the field. No. You know, Olivia Miles, you know, pretty good in this game. But it was just a lot of ISO. A lot of like, okay, well, I got this. I'm gonna go take this shot. And like bad shots in the second half. Whereas in the first half, I just felt like Notre Dame was cooking. No problems. Now all of a sudden, here comes TCU trying to storm back. And Notre Dame is like, okay, we got this. And they didn't. It was clank, 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 clank. Shot selection was the issue for Notre Dame. Shot selection and the fact that they just couldn't stop Sedona Prince. Those two things, that's why they lost. That's why they lost in this game. And, you know, sometimes you need those. This is a crazy upset. Huge upset. So, like, definitely shout out to TCU for that. But Notre Dame, sometimes you have those games, right? Like, remember, South Carolina just lost the game. Sometimes as a team, even though you're by far better than everybody else, if you don't show up, you're going to lose. Notre Dame, for sure, is way better than TCU. But TCU had players who believed, and they had a coach that put together a game plan and made crazy adjustments in game. Mark Campbell's a great coach. Neil Ivy's a great coach too. And like I guarantee you that Neil Ivy's about to get on her players and be like, nah, this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. You can't do this. You cannot dominate in the first half. And then in this, well, it wasn't even domination in the first half. It was still pretty close. It was still a pretty close game, but it felt like Notre Dame easily had it in that first half. And you just kind of fall apart, especially in that fourth quarter where you only scored 12 points. You allowed TCU to score 31 points in the fourth quarter alone. Unacceptable. So Nia Ivy, she gonna get on her players. She gonna get on them. But shout out to TCU though, man. Mark Campbell is that man. That's a bad man right there. That is a bad man. Because as a coach, if you can get your players to believe, when I see clips online about with him interacting with the players, the way he interacts with them, like you can tell that like they fully 100% trust this man. And that's what you need. Like you need to believe. You need talent, of course, but you need to believe. Because when you believe, yeah, you down at halftime, but that's not going to stop you, right? Yeah, you down by 14 in the third quarter, but that's not going to stop you. You know, you going against one of the best teams in the country, and you're struggling a little bit, that's not going to stop you. Belief. And that's why I love basketball. That's why I love women's basketball. Like it's just something about the underdog that's just saying, you know, screw this. Screw what the gamblers say. Screw what the folks online say. We know what we got in this locker room. We know we got the talent to win. We know we can do it. And we're going to go out there and kick some butt. And that's exactly what TCU did. And I love it. I love it. So what did y'all think about the game? What did y'all think about just what TCU had to offer? And again, remember, Notre Dame has several players still out in injury. So, like, you know, that is still a thing. Still a thing. But huge shout out to TCU. What do y'all think about the game? Let me know in the comments below. And guys, I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.